Good morning. Welcome to Planet Chaos. I am your host, Brandyn Chaos. With me, as always, is Ed Giggity.
Giggity.
So what's going on, man? You were at the lake again this weekend.
Yep.
What's up with that,
Peaceful
man?
up there. Peaceful, except for the damn wind. It was windy and crazy.
Are you interacting with people there?
No, just the family. Just
Okay.
me and my wife, the kids, her mom and sister, and her dad.
Because there's still a pandemic going on out there.
No, protest all that. It's fine. See, when all those hundreds of people got together, they protested it, and coronavirus like, you guys are right. I'm done for a while. It's fine.
Man, I wish that we didn't have all these heavy topics lately. I would love to go back to doing fun shit. So the big thing this week was the Confederate flag again. You believe this
Yeah,
shit?
NASCAR's like, no more Confederate flags.
Well, dude, it's like every couple of years there's a big controversy. Everybody wants us to get rid of the Confederate flag. What's your take on that flag?
I'm indifferent because, being a white person doesn't offend me. But being a history person, it doesn't offend me even less because they lost. Like, why are you flying a loser's flag? Like,
Yeah.
I never understood it.
Yeah.
Maybe some northern Yankee that has intelligence and a mostly full set of teeth.
Well, it seems like in America we celebrate mediocrity anyways. I don't get it. I guess you could say if you had like an ancestor who fought for that flag, okay, maybe put one on their grave, have one hanging in your house. I don't get these people in Pennsylvania, Ohio, that have the Confederate flag flying on their trucks. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It means I'm a rebel. No, it means you support a losing side that lost hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I never understood like I guess I understand the sentiment behind it. It's supposed to represent a rebel spirit and that you'll leave at any time, or no, you won't leave at any time.
Well, they were rebelling against freeing slaves. That's not
Exactly.
That's not something I would want to be
that's
affiliated with.
Yeah.
And then
Some people just like to clinch on the history, but even when I was hearing about Confederate statues that were actually in Washington D.C., I didn't know that.
yeah, I didn't know
they had
that.
losing armies. Like if Saddam Hussein had his own statue in Capitol Hill that I don't know about. I don't know. Does Hitler have one? Why are we? Maybe because they were American at one time.
And I don't get it. You have these people that are saying they're trying to erase history by taking down these statues. Do they think that we're automatically going to forget about these historical events just because they remove the statue? Does that erase our fucking minds? We still have history books. We still have the internet. People are still going to know about this stuff. You're not erasing it. You're just taking down a stupid fucking piece of steel and stone. It doesn't make any sense to have it there anyways. Your
history is what makes you. Our bad history makes us a good country now. It all led up to this. Even as a person, things you do 2, 3, 4 years ago in the past does not reflect the person you are now, because you're constantly changing and growing. So it's now I do understand. I don't know why the statues are in the north, but in the south they were put up for a reason. They were from there. In their mind, they were doing what's right. And often, good and evil It's just a matter of opinion. There is no good. There is no evil. There's a matter of opinion.
Oh, hating somebody for the color of their skin is pretty agreeably evil across the board.
Yeah,
Most people can accept that.
Most people can accept that. But it's their opinion. They think it's okay.
But
good and evil is always a matter of opinion.
Like having Confederate statues in D.C., I get it.
I don't even know.
They're Americans. They were Americans. Granted, they fought against America, but they still died as Americans.
Yeah.
But I don't get the point of historical statues anyways. Like, why not tear them all down and replace them with pop culture statues, you know? We could change the name of the Washington Monument to the Billy Joel Monument or some shit, you know? The Lincoln Memorial could be the Clark Gable Memorial or something, you know?
Well, see, then what we're doing is we're glorifying. If we do that, we glorify like people that perform it, and not people that actually work hard to change their country. You know, Lincoln.
Well, let me ask you this though: how much did they really change this country?
Country in half. Hold on, Lincoln tore the country in half and started the one and only Civil War over a belief that he had that all men were created equal. That's the thing. Like, you can't take that away. Lincoln has really, and there's other people that deserve their statues and monuments. Washington was an okay general. He was the first president, you know. So he gets it. But I mean, there's presidents that have really done things that have shaped not only America but the entire world. So I think they deserve it. Now, do I think Confederate people deserve it? No, I don't think they do, because they were basically a revolution, and they lost. So you see a race.
Who's a president in our lifetime that you really liked?
I really like Clinton. I thought he was a cool guy.
Okay, what did Clinton do? What did
So
Clinton do to personally affect your life, though?
Oh, no, Clinton doesn't anything to personally affect me. I don't know, make a blowjobs funny. Glorifying blowjobs at work.
I would love to ask anybody that was a big Obama supporter, or anybody that's a big Trump supporter, like, how did this person affect your life? See, I don't get the blind allegiance that people have to these politicians. You know, I don't understand, you know, putting a fucking bumper sticker on your car or a sign in your front yard. Do people really think that's going to change someone else's opinion?
How about today in Niles? We're driving. We're gonna go up to the lake. We hit her mom's house, Niles, and we start going up. What's that road? 40, 46, 45? Going behind the mall to go to bypass the Howland.
Okay.
So we start going down that halfway up, and how about there's a whole bunch of people almost right by Sam's Club with a whole bunch of honk for Trump, for Trump signs to try to. Lauren wouldn't let me honk the horn. We drove by there twice today, not a honk once, I heard.
Yeah, I think for the most part, our country's pretty fed up with them.
I don't see, and I told Lauren, I was like, you should let me stop there, because they had one that says women for Trump.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to stop and grab one by the pussy and see if they're okay with it, since they're for Trump. Like, hey, I'm just doing my part, supporting Trump. Grab me by pussy.
Yeah.
It's starting to ramp up. Political stuff is going to start flooding us pretty soon. So this is it. We only have, 4 months, 5 months?
Who do you think's going to win?
You know what? I don't know. It's still split down the middle in my mind. It can go either way.
Well,
if they keep doing the voter suppression, I think Georgia was a test run. The shit that happened in Georgia,
yeah,
that was a test run where making polling lines long, and people are just saying, fuck it, I'm leaving. You know? I think that was a test. And they tested it. They said, you know what, if we do this across the whole country, more Republican people will stay because they're more convicted than Democratic people know to leave.
It seems like support for Trump is going down a lot.
Oh, it definitely is.
And he, day by day is making things worse for himself. He's now holding these big rallies again. And, the guy that hasn't taken this virus seriously from day one is now making people sign waivers when they come to his rallies. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that if they get coronavirus at his rally, then he's not responsible. Again, here he is not taking responsibility.
I don't think that should be a waiver thing. I think that should be a general knowledge thing. If you choose to go into a large crowd, unmasked, unprotected, and you catch coronavirus, you can't blame anyone else besides yourself.
I think that's a given. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given. I don't think... I see why, because of the way the legal system is in America, you can sue anyone for anything.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that's more on it as a person, if you know that,
Yeah.
Like, I'm still wearing my mask in stores.
Oh, I wear my mask all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no place that I go where I'm not wearing it.
They hardly anyone we'll stop in a Save Log, grab some hot dogs and hot dog bar or something like that before we get go to our dad's. I go in there, there's like one, maybe two people besides people working there wearing masks. Everybody else is walking around.
Man.
Fuck it.
That's fucking crazy. So, did you hear about this other police killing this week in Atlanta?
I've seen so many, I don't know when they happened. I've seen so many being brought to light now.
Well, so this article hit, I think it was just like 2 or 3 days ago. When this article came out, the headline is, police shoot unarmed black man while sleeping in his car, or for sleeping in his car. And if you actually read these articles, he was sleeping in his car in the drive-thru at a Wendy's. So he's in the drive-thru line asleep. That's probable cause for an OVI test. So the police show up, they wake him up. He's refusing the OVI test. He gets belligerent, starts fighting with the cops. They tase him, and it does nothing. The guy steals the taser, starts trying to tase the cops, and is running away. Okay. You steal the cop's taser, leaving him with nothing but a gun with real bullets, and you start tasing him. You don't expect him to use that gun and bullets on you? I don't think that guy thought that one through very well.
He was obviously on something. Once he
was trying to avoid an OVI,
started running away.
Now he's dead.
Yeah, and as soon as he started running away, he made himself a danger to everyone else around him.
Yeah, especially with a taser gun.
Yeah.
You could kill somebody with one of those. If you don't know how to use it properly, it is technically a deadly weapon. So, of course...
that every taser cartridge, when it goes off, there's actually tiny chips that come out of it that can be scanned and be tracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course...
and that's horrible that the media demonized it as unarmed. He's not unarmed if he had a taser.
Well, plus, he wasn't shot for sleeping in his car. He was shot for fighting with cops and stealing their taser.
And running away.
So, of course, there were protests. There were protests last night, and the protesters burned down the Wendy's.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, where they burnt down. Now, I did hear about him burning down a Wendy's. where a police shooting happened. I didn't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more clear. I did hear that. Like, why would you burn down the Wendy's?
I guess they were mad that Wendy's
fucking,
called the cops on this guy.
Wendy didn't come out there and fucking shoot him.
No.
Fucking Dave wasn't like, hey, man, kill this dude in my park. No. They were probably concerned about him. If you pass out in the drive-thru, you're a danger to yourself and others. Because you can wake up and be really fucked up and get a drunk driving accident or anything like that.
Yeah.
Once again, somebody's bad decisions lead up to something else.
Yeah.
The initial bad decision snowballs all this.
And
that dude's bad decision to get fucked up beyond the point where he can't even be awake in a drive-thru. And now the Wendy's burned down because of it.
The thing is, like, once again, here's somebody who didn't deserve to die. You know?
No.
I mean,
it was
a DUI punishment isn't really that bad. The worst part of a DUI punishment is the amount of fines you're going to pay.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable to me, too, you know, how many people will take on the police over something so petty. You know, such a small crime that will cost you very little, you know. I mean, a DUI, you're talking $1,000 in fine, 6-month license suspension, 3 days in jail, which they'll waive the 3 days in jail if you go take a 3-day class. So it's really not that bad of a punishment. This whole thing with the police is really getting out of hand, though.
It is.
You know, Minneapolis has voted to defund the police, and they're actually going to be completely disbanding their police force.
See, the defunding the police, I understand. I understand the defunding police because I mean, the police are freaking out, but in a way, it does help out because it shifts more money to social services that'll take some burden off of them. You know, that I'm okay with. Disbanding the police is not a good idea at all.
Well, you know, if you call the police because there's been a murder or a rape or something, they'll still have detectives that will come out and, you know, work on the case. But you won't have like traffic stops. Like if somebody breaks into your house, you have to call this. They're called like a citizen patrol or whatever. They're volunteers that will come over. But you know, let's say it's like 1 a.m. Somebody just tried to break into your house, and you call the citizen helpline or whatever. And some person who's not in a fucking uniform shows up after your house was just broken into.
Yep.
I know.
I already see where it's going, and you don't know who it is.
Yeah,
you shoot
you don't know who
guy,
it is.
It turns out it was a citizen.
Yeah.
See, that's why you need uniformed police. You need them.
To an extent,
I'm not saying all cops are bad, but some of them are. But still, the good outweighs the bad. I'm gonna say it backwards. The good outweighs the bad. You need a police force.
Yeah.
You can have good kids, but if you leave the house, those fuckers are wilding out. You can't take parents out of the home because the kids are going to go wild. And that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen when people are running red lights at stop signs, a couple kids get ran over and killed.
Yeah.
And the police are like, what the fuck you want me to do? I don't do anything anymore. You took down all my traffic cameras. I can't radar people to slow them down. I can't enforce traffic laws, so people are doing what they want. Now these kids are dead because,
people are talking about, demilitarizing the police. They don't want them to have military-grade weapons. Well, you know,
see that
I can defend that.
Only the SWAT should have it.
Yeah, and I can defend
the
police having these weapons.
Around with the AR-15 in his trunk.
I can defend the police having these weapons. The police should have the same type of weaponry that you would see on the streets.
Yeah, but a normal, everyday cop should. You don't need more than a handgun, you know.
If you're showing up to a call for shots fired, and you get there, and the guy's got an AR-15, and all you've got is like a little 22 revolver. I don't think you're going to win that fight.
I think they carry Glocks.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying for example.
Yeah.
For example, okay? They should be able to combat whatever they may face out there.
Yeah. I think the demilitarization of police is the riot gear kind of thing. I think that's what it is. The riot gear and tear gas and shit like mace and shit like that. That's what I think they're going. I don't think they're going.
They shouldn't have like tanks and shit like that. That's for sure.
I think big cities should. There's a little tank that busts through doors, busts through buildings and shit.
That's the thing. Like, local police force shouldn't have to deal with that kind of thing. That's why we have the National Guard.
Well, you have the SWAT team. You have a special.
You have a SWAT team too. Yeah.
Yeah, that does that. All former military guys and shit like that.
Yeah. So yeah, to an extent, they shouldn't have the same, military style weapons. So I think Minneapolis is going to be a good test for what's going to happen in other cities. But another thing that's really taken things too far. Have you seen that they've decided to cancel Cops and Live PD?
Cops, I kind of understand Cops because it's, they pick and choose. But Live PD, to cancel that is stupid. Because if you want to get cops walk the straight and narrow, they make sure they're being monitored by the country live on TV. That actually Live PD should be getting boosted and picked up by more departments.
And that's the thing.
Because of that.
Yeah, cops are going to behave themselves when cameras are on them.
You can see something from the start to finish. You can see a cop being nice and trying to stop. You can see a guy pulling a gun and shooting a cop randomly out of nowhere and be like, that was fucked up. Why didn't the cop grab him first? Why did he, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we don't see.
Yeah, I don't think those shows should be canceled.
No. Cops, I understand because they say it's edited to make it look like they're all criminals. Yeah. Cops, I understand because cops is pre-recorded. That I can understand. But the Live PD? No. You want the Live PD. This goes back to what I said, was it last episode, one before, that all cops should be monitored live by by a person.
And then Amazon is getting rid of Dukes of Hazzard from their streaming.
That's because of the Confederate flag bullshit.
You know what?
I don't understand because I don't remember one episode of the Dukes of Hazzard where they did anything remotely racist.
Yeah. You know what, though? Here, give me $100,000 and 4 days, and I will digitally edit out that flag in every scene.
There you go.
It's so easy to do. I could do it in a couple days.
Rainbow flag. Well, their car is called the General Lee, so...
Okay, I'll edit that out, too.
I think that's being overly sensitive. I really do.
Dude,
it's a period piece.
Dude, Dukes of Hazzard...
You're going to start editing shit out of, World War II shows, World War II movies that talk about the war?
Dukes of Hazzard was one of my favorite shows growing up. And,
because of Daisy.
Well, that was part of it. But I never thought about the flag. I never did. I don't even think at that age I really even understood what it was.
It's basically what you learn in history. That's the flag that the South used when it seceded from the Union. And that's basically all that flag is.
I always thought the Southern flag was the white flag. That was my attempt at being funny.
Back there, and I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to hear it.
Huh?
Did you pull the cool sound effect after that? I don't get to hear until I listen to it next day.
Yeah.
Any symbol can be used as a symbol of hate if it's off by people. Like, you know that, remember the circle game where you do a circle with your thumb and finger, you put it down?
Yeah, doesn't that mean white power now?
Yeah, now it means white. So
Yeah.
anyone can take any type of symbol, any type of word, and empower it and change it. So why would you just when you give it power, that's how it gets power. It can only get power if you give it power.
Well, it's like the name Karen.
Exactly.
You know? Look at what they did with the name Karen.
Exactly. But what happened? A bunch of people empowered it.
Yeah.
There's probably a ton of nice Karens. I've never really met a Karen. I didn't really, you know.
Well, within the next couple of months, you're going to see Karens trying to take it back.
Now.
A bunch of middle-aged white women are going to be running around saying, "What's up, my Karen?" They're going to try to take it back.
I put an A on the end, Karina.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound racist.
Okay, so
anything you give power to gets power. If you take the power away from it, then it doesn't have power anymore.
Yeah. So, we've been kicking around the idea of doing the show live. I'm also thinking about adding an extra segment to the show. I want to know what you think of this.
An extra setting?
Segment.
Oh, segment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the segment is. Well, it's not that pee contest like he wanted to do.
Huh?
As long as it's not that pee contest.
Pee contest.
Yeah, the squirting thing.
Oh, that's not pee. That's squirt, bro.
It's pee.
No. Anyways. So, I'm thinking about adding a weekly segment that we do. It's going to be... I haven't come up with a name for the segment yet. But it's basically... It's going to be a black man's perspective. Add some diversity to the show. I have somebody in mind already. A guy I've worked with in the past. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I think it would be cool to throw him in on the phone. Get maybe a quick 15-minute here's a black man's perspective on what's going on in the world this week.
That sounds like a good idea. I can get behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we do the show in the evenings, he could actually talk to us. Now, this dude, though, there was a joke behind that, but you have to know this guy to get it. So this guy, he's a black guy. And he doesn't like talking to other black people after 5 because he says they don't know how to act after 5.
That's funny.
No, it's not funny. Well, it is funny, but when you say that to somebody, then they start looking for it. Like, if somebody posts a viral video of some black people acting a certain way, I always look for that timestamp.
Yeah.
He's always got... And sometimes he'll post something on Facebook or Twitter, like a video like that, and then tag me in it and be like, hey, look at what time it is. I'm like, come on, man. Don't make me racist, bro.
Seeing something that's tangible and is proven is not racism, though.
No, it is funny, though.
That's stereotyping. But if you prove it, then it's not stereotyping anymore, it's fact. There's a whole level of shit that goes on.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video I sent you earlier?
Yeah. I've seen that before, though. That's not new.
I didn't see it. That's the first time I saw that video.
Yeah, that's not new.
That puts a whole new light on people involved now.
Well, have you heard anything going on with these other guys that have been charged?
No, I haven't. We should probably tell them what video we're talking about. It probably would be polite.
Well, it's just bystanders yelling to telling the cops to stop, and the cops not doing anything. Yeah.
Kneeling on George Floyd's head. Yeah, I didn't see that before until today.
Yeah.
They don't. That video really fucked them because they don't seem like innocent bystanders anymore. When you have a whole crowd of people saying that guy is dead, get off him. He's not moving. He hasn't moved for 5 minutes. Why are you still on him? Yeah.
Yeah.
That really puts a big dent in their story.
Oh yeah. Well, then these other officers, they're all going to try to cop a plea deal.
Oh yeah, they'll plead out.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know if the prosecutor will plead them out. That's
Why?
the thing. If he pleads them out, they'll get more outrage from it. It's a lose-lose situation.
No, if the other officers get some sort of jail time, people are going to be happy with it.
They're going to say it's not enough. That they should have got the maximum.
All prosecutors care about, and this is why they do plea deals, all they care about is their conviction rate. You know, if they have an 80% conviction rate. You know? They don't really care about
a lesser charge.
Huh?
I don't know if they'll be able to get away. I think it'll cause more controversy. I think it'll cause more protests. It's just
if it gets more jail time for Derek Chauvin, I think they'll be okay with that. Unless this prosecutor is really serious about saying no bullshit, we're taking all 4 of you motherfuckers to trial, then that's a different story. But from what I've been seeing in the news with these other officers, it looks like they're setting themselves up to plead out.
They'll all plead out and testify against the guy who actually did it.
Yeah.
We were just following orders and all that stuff.
And then, did you see this guy that worked at the nightclub with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd? Did you see this shit?
I remember you mentioning it about something like a show or two ago.
Yeah, so like this dude that worked with them comes out and was like, oh yeah, those two were always like butting heads and shit, you know. There was definitely some tension between them. They definitely knew each other, blah, blah, blah. But then a couple days later he comes out and he's like, oh yeah, I was wrong. It wasn't George Floyd, it was another black guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there goes that. That was what they were banking on for murder, too.
So much bullshit flying around right now. So much.
Yeah.
I'm still saying, it's a lose. No one wins over this. There is no win. Black Lives Matter doesn't win because with all the looters and spray painting and defacing monuments and stuff, that puts a loss to your column. The cops are losing because not only did one of their officers kill someone and start all this, but now they're in riot gear pushing down old white guys and tear gassing little girls and shit.
Yeah.
So this is a loss for everybody all around. No one's gotten better from this. If anyone sits there and says, we made a difference, we made things better, you didn't. Everybody lost on both sides. And
did
put
you
us
see
back to right where we were before.
Did you see George Floyd's funeral?
I did see that golden casket that was tipped. I saw that. I didn't watch any of the funeral.
Like, they've really made this guy into a martyr.
Yeah, they did.
Like, okay, I get it. He didn't deserve to die. But he was a lifelong criminal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I don't get, man. Like, you know, don't make him out to be some sort of a hero.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, let's demonize these cops that murdered him. Okay, I'm down with that for sure. But to make this guy seem like he was innocent, like he was just minding his own business, doing nothing, we can't do that.
Exactly.
You
like
know?
I said, there's always events that lead up to it. Always.
You know, and then
you don't get thrown down and knee in the back of the neck like that excessively because you cooperated and said yes or no, sir.
And I don't agree with this shit that I see, you know, the Trump supporters putting out there and just tossing out his whole criminal history. I don't like that either. You know, let's say, okay, yeah, this guy was a criminal, probably didn't deserve to die. Let's move on and let's get rid of these fucking cops. You know? I don't understand why we have to break it down, you know, and talk about every crime this dude has ever committed. You know? And then you've got...
I think that they're trying to justify the killing. That, maybe we're better off without him. Which, you can't do that. Taking someone's life, unless he's threatening another life, there's no reason for it. We should be... It is 2020. We should be evolved to the point where we realize that life is precious.
Yeah,
you know?
And I would much rather see...
You have all these psycho murderers? Drop them in a foreign fucking country. Give them one gun with one clip and drop them in a foreign country. Say, go the fuck to town. To one of those, send them after fucking terrorists or some shit, you know? They'll be educated a bunch of teenagers for 5-6 years to go take out terrorists. Let these fucking psychos that love killing people go.
And
you know? That's what I never understood.
I would much rather like to see criminals in prison than dead, you know? Like, I've always said, everybody at some point in their life has deserved an ass whooping from the police. But, you know, unless you're really putting the cop's life in danger, you don't deserve to get killed by the police. I think in a lot of cases, just a simple ass whooping would suffice. You know? I'm not saying like a Rodney King style ass whooping. That's a bit excessive. You know? But if you're resisting arrest and you take a nightstick across the face, you probably did something to deserve it. You know? There's times where I probably deserve to get my ass whooped by the police. Everybody has. Even you, Ed.
Oh, there's been times where I could have been, but man. When cops show up, I fucking split the switch. I don't care how pissed off. I did get in trouble one time at the Scottsdale for elbowing a cop in the head, and I got a DTP one time. And I deserved it because I elbowed a cop in the head. I didn't get my ass beat because the guy was too little. And as soon as he grabbed me, I realized I was a cop. I just kind of let him do whatever he wanted. You know?
Yeah. So,
I got a fucking nice stick to the ribs and shit like that. But, I mean, I didn't get beat back. I had to shake his hand me plenty of times. That was nothing.
Have you seen... have you seen this one thing that's going around about bad cops? It basically says, if you have 100 cops and 4 of them are bad cops, then you have 100 bad cops. What's your take on that?
That's not true. That's not true.
That's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like, you can't expect... You can't expect cops to be ratting on each other when regular citizens aren't. You know, how many people do you think out there, you know, if all they did was snitch, they could probably solve 5 or 6 homicides each?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
If you want to go with the theory that one bad apple spoils a bunch, then everyone in the world is a criminal.
Yeah.
Because there's bad people that are criminals. Everyone in the world is a murderer. Everyone in the world is a rapist. Every single Catholic priest is a pedophile. Every single one. You can't use that law. If you're going to do something logical, it has to transfer across the border. You can't do that.
Well, I get that cops should be held to a higher standard. Okay, if a cop breaks the law, they should definitely get the max because it's their job to know the law and uphold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if one of your fellow officers is involved in some sort of illegal activity, corruption and whatnot, I believe, you should turn them in. But I think the same should go for us. Maybe the citizen should lead by example. Why don't we start being better? Like I've said it, the last couple episodes, I believe I've said this. The cops are just as fed up with our shit as we are with theirs. If we start being better, the cops will start being better. It's a fucking stressful job. Like I've said, anytime a cop comes up to your window at a traffic stop, they've got their hand right there by the gun because they don't know what they're walking into.
Exactly.
It's a stressful job. I get it.
It's going to take one of those live PD if they want to cancel it. It's going to take something like that. They need to start showing, even with that dude from Gerard, Justin Leto, was that his name?
Justin Leo, yeah.
No. Leo, yeah. He got killed by a guy he knew, and he hesitated because he knew the guy and was trying to de-escalate it to be a good cop.
Wow.
And he got shot and killed over it.
That was suicide by cop. The cops got called to that house because the guy was suicidal, and he was waving around a gun when the officers got there. He pointed it at Justin Leo, took a shot, so the other cop killed him. That guy wanted that to happen.
Yeah, but Leo, he hesitated because
he knew the guy.
To be a good cop, trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And then that happens right in front of you. It makes the whole police department say, well, I'm fucking killing them before they kill me. I'm not dying over some dumb shit. But no, you are not.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens a lot, but people don't talk about that. People don't talk about how many highway patrolmen each year get hit by a car because they were too close to sight because they can't slow down and pull over to the other side.
Yeah.
It's fucked up on both sides, but each side creates each problem. It's a lose-lose. We keep trying to eye for an eye each other, but what was it that Gandhi said? If everyone goes eye for an eye, then the whole world goes blind.
Yeah.
I guess except for the last guy.
I'm kind of surprised you know a Gandhi quote.
Oh, I know shit. I'm deep.
You're not deep. And it's weird that you know that quote. Anyways, people gave Tekashi 6ix9ine so much shit for snitching, but I just don't understand why. Because of him snitching, some hardened criminals are now off the streets. If people were expecting cops to snitch on each other, why is it such a bad thing for us civilians to snitch on each other? Shouldn't we all be turning in criminals when we know that they've committed crimes?
Yeah.
I know prosecutors really get stressed out when they're trying to prosecute a crime and they know that the defendant has visited a Catholic priest or they go to a therapist because they may have confessed to the priest or to their therapist, but they can't have them testify because you've got a priest can get removed if they talk about what is said in a confession. A doctor could lose their license because you have doctor-patient confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that have committed serious crimes and have told people about it. These people know. And I'm not talking priests or therapists. I think they should get a pass. But how many people...
Lawyers, too.
Huh?
Lawyers don't have
lawyers
don't have to tell the police if they've done it or not.
Yeah. There was a big thing. OJ went to confession after his wife was murdered, and they were trying to get a subpoena for the priest to testify, and they couldn't do it.
No.
So, how many people do you think have told their friends that they've committed a rape or murder or an armed robbery? Cases that are still open but have gone cold. You could close these cases, give a lot of families some closure if people would snitch. Could you imagine, having a loved one murdered and they don't find the killer because somebody won't speak up? That's got to weigh heavy on you.
Oh, yeah. Sure would.
And these people are sitting on that information. I think we should normalize snitching. Stop making it seem like it's such a bad thing.
I mean, we tell kids if someone's doing something bad, you're supposed to tell them immediately.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is, your brother, your sister, anyone.
Wasn't it Mike Bloomberg that came up with that policy? If you see something, say something. Was that Bloomberg?
See something, say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who did, but I do recall it.
Yeah. It was like the post 9/11 New York. I know it was after Giuliani. Whoever was mayor right after Giuliani was the one that came up with it.
I think it was Bloomberg.
I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, I'm totally down with that. So you're watching wrestling tonight?
You saw his case. I paused it to come up and do the show.
I heard you say something about pause it when somebody was fighting.
Yeah, I paused it when Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley were fighting.
Who?
I paused it there.
Who?
Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion.
I have no idea who that is. I don't think I could name anybody that's been a WWE champion.
Yeah, you could. You can name two off the top of your head. I can't even tell you the two you're going to name off the top of your head.
Hulk Hogan. Right?
Okay, three. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's one.
Andre the Giant.
There's two. You're going real old school. I don't think it's more attitude era people.
Oh, I don't know. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep, Stone Cold. Who's the other big guy that comes out? Or you can probably name two more after that.
John Cena.
Yep, that's one. And there's one more I know you're going to hit.
Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper was actually never WWE champion or WWF champion.
Okay. Bam
champion.
Bigelow.
I don't know if Bam Bam Bigelow's ever been a WWF champion. I could be wrong, but I don't recall.
Who was the guy that was in the Cyndi Lauper video? Captain Lou Albano?
He was actually a manager. I think Intercontinental title was the highest he ever got.
Okay. Jerry Lawler.
I don't know if Lawler's been... I know he's been an NWA champion. I don't think he's ever been WWF champion.
He's the goddamn king. How could he not be the champion?
He is the king. He's the king, but he's never been WWF champion. He came back to the company. He was too old. He didn't really have a good... he's a commentator. He's a legend. He actually did one of the most homophobic promos ever. He called Goldust's names. You gotta look it up. That's crazy, man. Yeah,
Undertaker. Is that another one?
Yep, Undertaker. He's been champion.
The Rock.
You're missing the biggest dude though.
The Rock.
The Rock. That's who I was waiting for.
Okay. I always forget that he was a wrestler.
How do you forget? That's how I know.
Because
The
he's
Rock.
a big Hollywood star now. That you kind of forget he wrestled for a couple years. Because didn't he only do it for a few years?
10 years.
Was it 10 years? Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
He started young, like 20.
Okay.
His whole family is like that whole family was the Samoan family. They were all good wrestlers. Roman Reigns is related to him. Nia Jax is related to him. Yokozuna was related to him.
Hey, the Iron Sheik. Wasn't he a champion?
I believe so. I believe he did. I think he was a one-time champion.
Okay, so how do you win the WWE Championship?
I guess it depends on a match, but pinfall, submission. In wrestling,
how is it determined who the top dog is, though? Is it like win-loss ratio?
No, it's all creative. It's a story. Creative decides. Well, actually, honestly, it's Vince McMahon who decides who's going to be the champion because he has end say and everything. But it goes on fans' popularity, the performer's draw ability, which means how much fans they think, how much ratings he gets. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into it.
Huh. Okay.
But it's I mean, wrestling.
So it's not based off of their like winning percentage or anything like that?
Their winning percentage is predetermined.
Well, yeah.
It's not no. It's you can have someone lose like 5 times in a row, and then get a championship match, win the championship. It all matters on storyline and performance, and if the fans are reacting to the story, if they're reacting to you as a character, if they're calling, stuff like that. It's all about fan service.
I can't get into this, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It just seems too complicated for me.
It is. It's just like any soap opera. You gotta watch it for a couple weeks to get into it.
Yeah.
The newer promotion, AEW, they're actually keeping track of their win-loss records. They're trying to write around it, which is good. Kind of makes it a little bit more sports-like.
AEW,
I mean,
are they based down in Florida too?
Yeah, AEW is based out of Jacksonville. The Khan family, Tony Khan owns it.
Yeah.
The guy whose daddy owns the Jaguars.
Yeah. Okay. Is that shit any good at AEW?
It is. It's good. I never really got into it because ever since the pandemic, when there's no crowd, it's been hard for me to watch wrestling because you don't realize how much the crowd plays a huge role. Like, they're a character in their own,
Yeah.
They make it fun.
So are they still doing shit with no crowds?
Bless me. What's that?
Are they still doing shit with no crowds?
What WWE and AEW has been doing is they've been using people employed, like their talent that aren't quite ready, like their kids, basically. Like, the NXT kids that aren't quite at NXT yet. They're using their developmental talent. Think of like the Indians using the scrappers to fill the fans.
Okay.
Something like that. It's basically that.
Isn't that the same as having people in the stands?
Well, it's only a handful of people. It's like a dozen people.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a very small amount of people. It gives some ambiance, so it makes it a little better. But it's still, it's not as powerful. Like,
do they show crowd shots?
Do what?
With the camera, does the camera show crowd shots?
Oh yeah. Normally, even now with the people.
No, I'm talking about now, not normally.
Yeah, now they do. Yeah, they do now too. With a couple people in there, you see them, and they'll if someone's like all surprised, they'll show them all surprised, because that kind of adds into it. Like, if you ever been to wrestling, going to wrestling is so much fun. Time flies so fast. It's so much fun going on. I'm so pissed off because we were actually going to go to the one I was in Youngstown. Like, we had, like, ring-level seats, like 3 rows back and shit. You know, we had really good tickets. We saved up for them and everything. The kids were excited. And the pandemic hit and canceled it.
Jeez.
Like, it was, like, really going to wrestling and being there and seeing them being that close, and hearing them smack against each other, it's exciting, you know?
I'll take your word for it.
But then again, it's something you have to be into, you know?
I was once told the same thing about NASCAR. So I went to a NASCAR race with someone, and it wasn't any different being there. The only difference was that it was a shitload louder.
Yeah, it's like hockey. Like, I can't watch hockey on TV, but I've been to a couple like hockey games, like minor league hockey games.
Yeah.
So, when it's there, I can enjoy it. Like, if I go to a Scrapper game, I can watch the whole game. But I can't tell you the last time I watched a whole Indians game unless they were in the playoffs.
I will give you hockey. I used to go to Lumberjacks games all the time, and I've been to several Penguins games. That is a lot different watching it live. But NASCAR, it's no different watching it live than it is on TV.
Yeah. Some sports you can get into. Some sports it's just not your. It's a niche sport.
And then there's golf. Golf is cool to play. Like, I'm not a big golfer, but a couple times a year I enjoy hitting the links.
Yeah, golf is fun to play.
It's fun to play,
but
I don't get these people to fucking watch it. Like, man, like, if I go to the cigar shop, there's these dudes there that just sit there and fucking watch golf all day long. I'm like, how do you fucking do that? I don't care if it is Tiger Woods,
I can
dude.
watch golf and be like, I've tried that exact same shot and hit it 300 yards to the left. Like, you can admire their skill level, but I can't watch a whole golf tournament.
Well, that's the thing. That's what some of these old guys do, is they'll watch what these pros are doing and try it themselves. Now, I just watch. Like, if I want to improve something about my game, I'll find a YouTube tutorial. Like, here, try this. Or, I just go out and fucking practice and come up with my own damn technique.
Yeah, watching pros, and a lot of sports too, I've realized that the great ones, they do what works for them. It's not like they're not the same. Like, everybody tries to teach the same basic fundamentals, but then they always try to make kids like be like someone, like one person, letting them be themselves.
Yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, like, I would always be ahead of the ball because I couldn't see. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to close my stance more, like shift it, kind of like Carlos Baerga used to do.
Yeah.
And I tried, and they yelled at me because that's not the way you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do it flat. You're too young to do it like this, or Well, Julio Franco. Remember Julio Franco used to hold the bat up really high?
Yeah.
Remember his bat? The same thing. Like, I would try that to slow down, to match it. But they don't let kids do that. They try to teach them conformity.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back in a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So, I've been doing some landscaping around my house the past few weeks. You know, I don't think I could ever hire somebody to do yard work or landscaping for me. I would prefer to do it all myself. Because I don't want somebody else to come over and fuck up my vision of what I want it to look like. I would, if I'm going to fuck it up, I'd rather fuck it up on my own.
See, I would say landscaping would be for larger properties. Like, if I got a house with like more than like 2 acres of lawn, I'd pay someone to come do it. Until my kids got laws to do it for
Rand
me.
Paul actually does his own landscaping and his own yard work. I know this because a few years ago, one of his neighbors beat the shit out of him while he was mowing his lawn. You remember that story?
No, I never heard that story.
Yeah. One of his neighbors beat the shit out of him while he was mowing his lawn. So I'm like, you know what? If Rand Paul could do his own yard work, so can I.
Is it Rand Paul? How did that guy get away with that? He's like a senator or something, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what ever happened with that. I'm sure the guy got arrested
he
or whatever.
committed suicide in jail.
Yeah. So, like, I have these flower beds in front of my house. I tore them all up, and I have an idea of what I want to do with it.
You better do it soon because it's almost getting past that season.
Well, here's the thing.
So you can't do it anymore.
I want to put sand down instead of mulch or rocks or anything like that. And I'm going to put fake tropical plants in there. Like palm trees and shit like that.
Well, there's 2 ways that's going to go wrong. One is the tropical plants aren't going to grow because we're not as arid and we're not as...
they're not real plants. They're fake.
Oh, fake. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say fake.
Yeah, fake tropical plants.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But 2 is that sand is going to get infested with ants and it's going to get infested with cats. You already had that problem with that cat around your neighborhood.
Oh, it's gone. It disappeared.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah, it hung around for like a day and then it's gone.
It probably tried to cross the road.
Yeah, I ignored the little son of a bitch and he ran away.
Here's probably someone's cat that just tried to venture out.
That's what I was thinking, because it was real friendly. It was real friendly, hanging out and, trying to get people to pet it and shit. So, but yeah, it was somebody's cat that got out and it wanted fed. But no, sand.
But you're gonna have rodents and you're gonna have other creatures digging that sand up because it's too easy for them to dig up.
It should be fine though.
Not to mention your little baby room going outside and grabbing sand and throwing it all across your yard.
No, she won't do that.
Oh, she will.
But I figure it's something different that you don't see around here.
Make a Zen garden.
But one thing I did today is I have this tree in my front yard. It's like it gets like these real pretty white flowers on it for a little while.
Yeah.
I wanted to put like some decorative stones around it. So I went on Amazon looking for decorative stones, and the first thing that popped up, it was these glow-in-the-dark stones. They absorb solar energy, and then they glow at night. And I was like, $400 for $25. That ain't bad. I'm probably going to need more than $400, because just $400, it's going to look kind of small. It's not going to come out far.
Big rock.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy one bag for now, put it out there, see what it looks like. So I put those out there today, and it looks pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think 2 more bags should be enough. And it's got a nice, it's like a blue glow. It looks really cool so far. So I'm going to get like 2 more bags, put it out there, and I'll be done with that tree. But I already dug up those flower beds.
Yeah, I don't really have much landscaping options here. Everything was already planted here, and, besides mowing the grass, that's all I do for landscaping.
Dude,
I did a
these
drainage
flower beds,
tunnel thing.
These flower beds look like shit. So I just took a weed eater and just flattened the whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then I dug all the debris out of it today. Well, the one side. There's 2 sides. One side of the porch and then the other side of the porch. So I got the one side all dug out. So I just have to till it up, loosen up that ground, and then I'll probably put the tarp thingy over it, and then put the plants in after that, and put the sand in. It'll look cool once I get it all done.
Are you going to go with a canvas tarp or a plastic tarp?
No, it's a canvas tarp. I already bought it because I had to put it around for the stones. Better ones to use. Yeah.
I think it'll look cool. I think it'll look really cool. I don't know. See, just for me and you, I'd wait until I actually owned a house to do that, not one I rented. Cause that's a lot of work to put into something like what happens in 6 months, and when something good happens, we're like, oh, let's go buy a house,
Well, the nice thing about using fake plants is you just dig them out and take them with you.
Not true.
But
by that time, they're all sun faded.
Buy new ones.
Yeah, true. I'm more of I don't put any extra into anything until it's mine.
Yeah.
Like me and Lauren argued for at least 3 months about painting our place that we live in. Just painting the living room and the kids' rooms upstairs. I was like, we rent it. Why do I care? Why would I paint it? Make them paint it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like the color. I like the flat white.
Well, it also depends on how long you lived there. How long you guys been in that house?
We're going on 6 years this year.
Yeah,
We've been here for a long time. Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't own it, you still want to take some pride in the place you live in.
Yeah.
Make it look nice. I mean,
yeah, we went house hunting again today. Went and saw a couple houses. Saw a pretty cute little house in Austintown. But the thing was the person still lived there with her kids. And it's like super awkward for me to go into someone's house I think I'm going to buy and seeing all their stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, have you ever went to go look at an apartment or a house, something like that, and do people still live there?
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's so awkward.
I prefer that.
I'm glad they weren't there.
I prefer that. Like, I want to see what it looks like with stuff in it. Because, I've looked at places while they're empty and been like, oh, yeah, okay, this is big. There's a lot of fucking room here. And then you start putting your stuff in there and you're like, oh, shit. I kind of misjudged this. It's a lot smaller than it looked.
Yeah.
So if you could see it lived in, you could see how they have their furniture set up. You can see how much extra room is in it. Compare it a little bit to the amount of furniture you have.
True. I guess I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
All I know is I was looking around and looking what this lady's kids had, and their kids had a lot of cool things. Like a shit ton of cool stuff. Like, I was jealous. I was like, I wish I had this cool shit. Like, it was weird. And then we went and saw another house in Niles which was really nice. 3-bedroom, nice kitchen, garage, beautiful yard, landscape, playing room to play. Then I go in the basement. The basement is like 5 feet tall.
Oh, jeez.
Like, Lauren had to duck in it. Like, it was a super tiny basement. Like, that's like, we would have told it's under our budget. We love the living room, the dining room. We love the kitchen, love the bedrooms. But that basement is like, if it was a foot, if it would be a foot deeper, we'd buy that house now. We'd have put an offer on it.
Damn.
It's like all these houses. We only found one house we liked. That one house, remember I told you guys last week about we liked to put an offer on it?
Yeah.
It jumped up like $40,000 past our price range already.
Damn.
The person put an offer on it. I was like, I fucking knew it, man. I knew they were asking too low for it. That's why I said put an offer on it now. Fucking snatched up before they get too smart. And then they waited a day, and then someone else fucking outbid us like $40,000. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow. So,
but I mean, I totally understood. It was a super nice house, super nice neighborhood. I totally understood.
Oh yeah. So I got a few more topics I want to touch on.
All right, let's do that.
I don't want to make it like
touch things.
I don't want to make it like a super long episode, so I want to get on with this shit. So Dr. Amy Acton, the Ohio health director, has resigned.
I heard about that. Lauren was telling me that.
Yeah, I didn't hear why. I mean, it kind of bums me out. You know, here's someone who truly cared about the citizens of Ohio, and, you know, I'm feeling like it's pressure, you know, from the
it's
people.
gotta be.
You know, people were protesting the lockdown outside of her house. That's putting her and her family in danger.
Why are we pushing out these? I swear to God, we're getting closer and closer to idiocracy every fucking year.
Yeah.
It's becoming idiocracy.
I feel like that's what these fucking
why
rednecks
would you
want.
Punish? She's a doctor. If she's not telling me how to fucking, like, where to drop a war zone. She's not telling me how to do. She's telling me how to live my healthy physical life, which she is an expert on.
Yeah.
She didn't just get a point of that because she was the best looking chick available at the time. We're done. We're going down, man. America's going down. I said that a few weeks ago. I said that.
I feel down. Like we're going to be seeing a lot more of these state health directors resigning because of pressure from the citizens, and it's bullshit. You know, they're saying, oh, well, their projection models were wrong. Their projection models were based off of us not shutting down. So during the first week of the virus in Ohio, you know, Acton said, you know, that we're predicting that there's 100,000 people who have it in Ohio right now. We haven't reached half of that, right? We're still in the 40,000 range, right?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't looked at numbers forever. Ever since the last horrible thing that happened, coronavirus is kind of...
I want to say it's just under 50,000 or something like that. So, yeah, in 3 months, we haven't hit that 100,000 that she predicted in the beginning. Because of the lockdown. Because the fucking lockdown worked. Okay,
exactly.
They kept saying that they were locking down to prevent the spread and flatten the curve, which we did, and then they pushed to reopen things early, and now we're starting to see a spike in cases again. You know, for a couple weeks there, we were down in the double digits for daily cases. Over the last week, it's jumped back up to over 500 a day again. Mm-hmm. And people are going to say that they were wrong? Come on.
A lot of people are saying that it's because there's more testing that is available more widespread.
Well,
now.
No shit. that definitely has more. That definitely has something to do with it.
And that's a good thing, though. I tell you what, Wednesday we're going to the Pittsburgh Zoo, and what they're doing there is you have to actually schedule. You have to be there at a scheduled time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going for the kid's birthday, and we're going like a small group. Me and the kids, her two friends, and their one kid.
Do you guys get the whole zoo to yourselves while you're there, or is it just a limited number of people they're letting in?
There's a limited number of people.
Okay.
But see, because it's open air and the sun's out, it's kind of like it's very hard for the virus to transfer because you're not really going to be touching people. You're separated. There's plenty of space. People's going to be social distancing.
And I saw over the weekend in Ohio so many live concerts already. They're kicking it off with these live concerts. Like, I get it. For some of you, that's your livelihood. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'd be okay with taking a pay loss if it saves lives.
See, those protesters did this. These fucking protesters, when they went out in groups of 100 to 200, and they just let them kind of go, and then now they're like, well, why can we have 200 people in the same space, but I can't have 15 people in a decent,
Yep.
That's what it is. It's childish. It's, well, they can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
And Johnny down the street gets to go out with all his 900 buddies and loot and burn things. Why can't I have 2 people over my house, Mom?
And you're going to see big spikes in cases, too, in another week
I'm waiting
because
for
of the Black Lives Matter protests.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although I think all that tear gas was probably ripped a lot out of it out of their sinuses.
That would be
that
nice.
really prevent a lot of... Yeah, if it turned out that them using tear gas actually killed a lot of coronavirus spreading.
It's still going on, and people aren't taking it seriously.
You can't get rid of an ex. See, the thing is, she was never supposed to be in front of a camera.
No.
She was always supposed to be a behind-the-scenes advisor. Most doctors, they spend so much time getting their degree straight and doing all that. There's very few not socially awkward doctors. Like, a lot of doctors are socially awkward outside of their office.
But,
it's always in their office, one-on-one with the patient, they're in professional mode. I mean, you get them outside of there, they're idiots. They have no idea what's going on in the world.
I'm sure she's not going to be hurting much in her career. State health director looks pretty good on a resume. But, good luck to her in her future endeavors. I hope that she does something to make a difference.
I will say thank you right now because she did make a difference. She saved thousands of lives. And I don't know how you compensate someone for that. And what do? We sat there and shunned her and protested, and it's sad. It's a loss.
So let's play a game called Guess What Stupid Shit the President Said This Week.
I know the stupid shit the President said all week.
What's the dumbest fucking thing he said this week? I don't know how his supporters can justify some of this shit, especially this one.
The dumbest thing that I heard him say this week was that old white guy they pushed down in Buffalo was an Antifa antagonizer, and he was waving around a device to scramble their communication.
Oh no, that's not the dumbest thing he said this week.
I thought that was the dumbest thing he said this week.
Oh no, that's not the dumbest fucking thing he said this week.
What do you think the dumbest thing is?
He was given an interview. I want to say it was on Fox News. I'm not 100% sure, but he was given an interview, and he said that he has done more for Black Americans than any other president in history.
Oh my God! I heard that too. Oh.
He said, "We'll give Lincoln a pass," and something about the end result wasn't that great. Yeah. How do you fucking justify this shit?
There's something wrong with him. Did you see when he was doing his West Point thing? He couldn't even lift up, like, the glass of water.
What about that little twitch he had?
Yeah. And then going down the steps. Now, going down the steps, I don't see that one as bad because, you know, he's an old guy. He's 70, you know.
Yeah.
I think he's exhausted. I think he's wore out and he's exhausted.
I don't think he's a healthy man.
I mean, he's in his 70s. I mean, of course, that
little twitch, that looked like some sort of like Adderall withdrawal.
Hydroxychloroquine withdrawals.
Well, some people close to him have said he's addicted to Adderall.
Maybe.
Yeah. So okay, I think I found the clip of what he said. Hold on. Hold on.
That's crazy. I've done more from that. Like, seriously? I don't think anyone will ever be able to top Lincoln. I freed you guys. I fought a war to free you guys. It's pretty much the best you could have done. I mean, but wait, I mean, one of the things Kennedy that did
I'd like to ask you to join my campaign.
Hold on a second.
That means not only defeating Donald Trump, but
all of that fit into talking with the protesters and
think Bernie
people
Sanders
right now wanting for the black community, and not just blacks, but communities of color, people who are disadvantaged in general. I mean, the economy is the great unifier, right?
So, I think I've done more community than any other president, and let's take a pass on Abraham Lincoln because he.
That sound dropped off. I was playing the clip of what Trump said, but the sound dropped off there for a second.
Hear it.
Well, yeah, I know you won't be able to hear it.
I was like,
So I'm going to take a pass on
doing like filler stuff. So you could, I thought you were looking it up.
Well, look, criminal justice reform. Nobody else could have done it.
But yeah, he said, we'll take a pass on Lincoln because the end result was questionable. The end result was the end of slavery. So how is that questionable? Is that a Freudian slip?
I'm thinking so.
But he's definitely not a well man. You know, like people were pointing out his posture and how his posture is a sign of dementia. The little twitches that he gets are Adderall withdrawal when he's somewhere where he can't pop a pill. Here's something weird that I noticed about him recently too. I was watching some old videos of him and then paying attention to some stuff recently. What happened to his New York accent?
I never really noticed that much for New York accent. Trump's always sounded like Trump to me.
Oh, dude. Well, he's a born and raised New Yorker. He's lived in New York his whole life.
I think the New
always
York
had an
accent is more of a middle class thing.
No,
I don't think it's upper class.
Andrew Cuomo, he's got a real prominent New York accent.
Yeah, but he worked his way up.
Listen to old Trump. He had a very thick New York accent, and he doesn't anymore.
He probably took. There's a class that they give because we're from the Midwest where we are. We actually have an accent, but we don't realize it. But it's the most like acceptable accent.
Yeah.
Like they send people from all over to learn our accent.
Yeah, I know. People could lose their accent, but why would Trump, so late in his life, decide to lose his accent? Changing,
I remember him years ago during The Apprentice.
Changing your vocal pattern is another sign of dementia.
Maybe. That's possible.
So, he's got a lot of signs there.
Well, weren't they saying the same about Hillary, like when she was running, about when she had Twitch, and she was like,
she's not in good health either.
No, they're old. They're old people. Why are we electing these old people that are on the end of their life? Like,
well, you were talking about voting for people? Bernie.
Bernie might be old, but he doesn't act old.
Yeah, he does.
But he's trying to do things for young people. That's the thing. His whole platform was geared towards young people. Free healthcare, free college, all this stuff. We're putting these old people in that are helping out all their old buddies, you know?
Well, yeah. Trump promised to drain the swamp. Instead, he put the swamp in his cabinet.
Yeah. I don't think the president should be over 60. I really don't. I think that's too old. I think it's too old.
Well, there's a lot of jobs that have a max age, like a mandatory retirement age. A lot of hospitals, they force their doctors into retirement at a certain age.
Which there's nothing
police
wrong with,
do the same thing. It should be the same with politicians. We have a minimum age for president, which is 35. We should have a maximum age, too. And I think it should be 60.
I agree. I think 60 is a good number. I think 60 is when everything starts to take a dive.
Yeah.
Because the way we take care of ourselves now, I think 50 to 60 is like 40 to 50 was like 20 years ago.
These politicians,
live a lot healthier.
They don't fucking retire. Like, what is that shit? Isn't Mitch McConnell like in his 80s?
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi in her fucking 80s. Like, you should be living on a beach in Florida. Like, what the fuck are you doing hanging out in that frigid ass fucking Washington, D.C. weather? It doesn't make any fucking sense these people don't want to retire.
I wonder what the national average of people that are of the age they represent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like say Mitch McConnell, what is the percent of people in his district that are 80? Well, like a few hundred?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not representing who they're supposed to be representing. Mitch McConnell 80 cannot possibly know the struggles of someone that is 40 and under. He can't. Yeah. He just can't. He can read statistics, reports, but he hasn't experienced shit like we have. He hasn't lived a real life in decades.
Yeah.
That's why, like you're saying, like you have to infiltrate the system. You have to put people in there that are like-minded, like yourself. Don't stop electing these guys that went to like all these prestigious colleges and all that. Because guess what? From middle school on, they haven't lived like we have.
Mitch McConnell's 78.
Yeah, he's almost 80. He's done. Get out of there. It's like...
My parents were retired when they were in their 50s.
Yeah, you're paying for laborers, though. They work hard jobs, work hard all their life. They kept the same... Like, did your dad keep the same job, like, all of his life? Yeah.
Fucking retire. Get the fuck out of there. Give someone else a chance.
You could be in an advisory position. Like, because with age comes wisdom. With age comes certain wisdom. I will give them that. You have wisdom a little bit more, but you can't make final decisions by yourself like that for someone. You know, when was the last time Nancy Pelosi had ramen noodles? You know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to start putting people in office that are like you. Yeah, you think, hey, this guy's a Harvard graduate. He has all this education. Well, guess what? He don't know the struggle. He may have struggled the first couple years in college, but he don't know what it's like to have 2 kids and have to let the electric bill slide till the next paycheck because one of your kids need new shoes. You know, they don't know that strife.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like not to have health care and health insurance and stuff like that.
Chuck Schumer is 69. Yeah. Retire. Enjoy your
50,
golden years.
Between 50 and 60, you should be on your way out. You should be setting up the new guy that's in their 30s and 40s.
Well,
there should be turnaround.
I guess Mitch McConnell is actually losing his re-election race right now.
Oh, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Good.
They don't want to let go of the power. They don't want to let go of the...
And that's all it is. It's power. Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of understand. Like, I wouldn't want to give up. Like even at my house, I want to get a position in my house up. Like, I don't want my kid telling me what to do and run to my house. You know.
Well, that's different.
They don't... Well, it's the closest thing I can think of. But I wouldn't want to give away that power either. But that's why we as people got to start saying, listen, we have the power to change it and make new rules and put people in there that'll make these rules. You know?
So moving on, Starbucks was in the news again this week.
What did they do now?
So they came out and said that they were not going to allow their employees to wear Black Lives Matter masks. Okay.
Like face masks? Like the masks that they...
And everybody got up in arms about it. And these people that are getting up in arms about it are the same people who every year make fun of the people who around Christmas time will boycott Starbucks because of their holiday cups. Okay, in case you haven't noticed, Starbucks likes to stay neutral on shit. They don't want you to think that they go one way or another on, topics that get people heated. So why are people not fucking understanding that?
You can't alienate your customer base, and that's what it is.
Exactly, and they're choosing not to. It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense what Starbucks is doing. So, of course,
establishment should not force political beliefs on anyone.
Yeah,
that's what America's about.
All these companies are coming out and in support of Black Lives Matter. And, of course, you have the hillbillies that are boycotting these companies.
Yeah.
The All Lives Matter crowd. And, Starbucks doesn't want the backlash from that. I get it.
It's smart. It's not...
Yeah. Like I said, I don't...
You should be allowed to be neutral. You should be allowed to be... Yeah, there should be nothing wrong with being neutral.
I don't like putting my beliefs out there like that, because I don't want to alienate my audience. I don't want people to say, oh, I'm not going to listen to you anymore because you've become nothing more than a fucking Hollywood liberal, dude. Like, okay, if you think I'm bashing Trump, go back and listen to the shit from 8 years ago when I was bashing the other guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
But so then the next day, Starbucks comes out and they're like, "Look, it was a uniform issue. You know, if people were wearing something to work, we wanted to be uniformed. So they have ordered Black Lives Matter uniforms for their employees." And of course, people are saying it's too late.
I guess there's no winning this. There's no winning this at all.
Yeah.
People are just out to take things down.
Yeah.
Social anarchy, man.
So expect Starbucks to put out Merry Christmas cups this year.
Oh, I hope they do.
I hope they don't. No, they need to stick to their guns with the whole Christmas thing. There is no war on Christmas. I wish people would stop fucking saying that there is. You're still free to celebrate Christmas. You're still bombarded with Christmas shit when you go to Walmart. You know, there's still 5 radio stations every year that play nothing but Christmas music for a month and a half. So what if Starbucks just decides to put a cool red design on their cups instead of putting ho ho ho, motherfucker?
Yeah. You see, the thing is America is mostly Christian-based religions.
Yeah.
You know, that includes Catholics and all that. It's the majority. And even Christmas, like with Santa Claus, that's more commercial than religious. That's what I never understood.
Well, yeah,
I learned Santa Claus in Bible school.
There's a secular aspect to Christmas.
There is, but there's a basic commercialized part of Christmas. It's for kids. Christmas is for kids. When you're a child under the age of like 14, your income is based on a few holidays.
Yeah.
Christmas, your birthday, and Easter.
Yeah.
Those are 3 times a year you get presents. And you get stuff for being a kid. The rest of the year you have to earn your shit.
Well, you know,
the kids have it.
The war on Christmas people, you know, they get mad when you say happy holidays. You know, between October 31st and February 14th, there's a shitload of holidays in there. You know, you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Yule, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, Valentine's Day, all right there within just a few months. So it kind of incorporates that entire period. You know, the fall and winter months is what it kind of encompasses.
Is what it is. You're being respectful. If somebody's Jewish, you don't like wishing Merry Christmas because Christmas is absolutely Christianity, and there's conflict because they didn't believe in Jesus like we do, and that's their own right.
Well, you know, if I go up to somebody and I say Merry Christmas, and they say, "Oh, I'm Jewish," I'll say, "Okay, then Happy Hanukkah." I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, if I go up to somebody and say Merry Christmas and they say, "Oh, I celebrate Kwanzaa," I'll be like, "Well, Happy Kwanzaa, man." You know, and if I do that, then they'll say Merry Christmas back to me. There's no war on Christmas. People were fucking stupid.
I think that the war on Christmas is a couple of SJWs just finding something to pick on.
It's a couple of fucking hillbillies that got nothing better to do.
Yeah. No, they're not the ones fighting Christmas. It's the people that are being overly sensitive and trying to protect people that don't need to be protecting.
Well, yeah.
I can see how Jewish people would get offended by Christmas being shoved down their throat. I understand that. I do understand.
Then shove Hanukkah down our throats and commercialize Hanukkah a little bit more then.
I mean, Hanukkah is pretty, but I mean, if somebody wishes me like Happy Hanukkah, I'm not going to get pissed off at it. I'll say, "Oh, Happy Hanukkah to you." You know, it's like, you can't see someone's religion. You can't base someone's religion on the color of their skin or what they look like.
Yeah.
You can see someone and think they're Muslim. They could be Cuban. You know, you never know.
Yep.
They could be Samoan. I can't tell a Samoan from an Arabian person. Well, I didn't bring my fucking swash out here to fucking put it up to, let's see, mocha, great cream, 6% chance. Oh, you're probably Muslim, right? Fuck. You're not Muslim. You're one of those ska guys. You know, you don't know. So if you don't know and you say happy holidays, it's just the best thing to do.
Yeah.
If you're unsure about that person, if you don't know that person, and you don't, what if they're atheists? Atheists love getting flipped out about Christmas. Fucking atheists will go nuts over it.
You know, I know a lot of atheists that celebrate the secular aspect of Christmas, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you can't get offended if somebody doesn't know. If it's like natural ignorance where they like if you can tell someone's trying to be nice. Now, if you go to a fucking like a Hanukkah party and say, "Oh, Merry Christmas, guys! Hey, Merry Christmas to you, buddy! Merry Christmas, guys!" Then you're a fucking douchebag, and you deserve to be yelled at. But if you're at a store and the fucking cashier, like, and you say, "Hey, Merry Christmas," or you say Happy Holidays, you know, you don't know that person personally. So if you don't know what they believe, just say Happy Holidays to be polite. You have a 95% chance that person probably celebrates Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But in that 5% chance that you don't, it's respectful and polite.
So
Just like when someone sneezes, you don't need to say God bless you. You can say Gesundheit or bless. You can say bless you as long as you don't say which God. You know.
I just say bless you.
Yeah, bless you. That's same thing as Gesundheit. As long as you don't throw God in there, you can say bless you, and you don't get offended if you're an atheist. Well, what do you mean bless me? I don't need bless. I don't believe it. Okay, well, fuck off and die. You know, whatever. Fuck off and die next time.
Yeah.
People get so worked up over the dumbest things, and then all this major shit's going on, they don't care.
Yep. So another thing that was kind of a big deal this week, the creator of The Sopranos slipped up during an interview and admitted that Tony Soprano died.
I assumed he did. That's why it went black like that.
Well, some people did.
Happened.
Yeah. Me, though, I held out hope that Tony Soprano survived. But, I mean, deep down, I knew he was dead. And that fucking ending has always pissed me off. But, yeah, he came out and admitted...
when he was just driving around in the car, right?
Huh?
He was just driving and talking, all of a sudden it ended.
No. He was sitting in a diner.
So, yeah, he was... I always assumed someone shot him. That's what happened.
Yeah, well,
that when it blinked out like that
was the assumption.
Someone hit him.
Yeah, that was the assumption, that he was shot. Because the guy walks in, and then it cuts to black. So, yeah. But the prequel movie should be out this year, I believe.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, it's called The Many Saints of Newark. And, yeah, it's supposed to be coming out soon.
But I thought that guy died in real life, though. The guy who plays him, right?
Well, yeah,
James
it's a prequel.
Gandolfini?
James Gandolfini,
Okay.
yeah. It's a prequel. So it takes place before the series. And James Gandolfini's son actually plays Tony Soprano in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and he looks just like him. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it because I'm a huge fan of Sopranos.
I hit and miss. I mean, I've seen Sopranos. I know the gist of it. I've seen a few episodes.
There was that
really
one
get into
season that was kind of weird where he was in the coma. But, you know, other than that, every episode was a hit. There's very few shows like that. I've been trying to catch up on some old shows recently. I was watching Weeds. You remember that one?
Which one?
Weeds. With Mary Louise Parker.
It was about an old lady that sold weed, right?
She wasn't an old lady. She was a hottie.
No, a lady. I didn't say she was
Yeah,
old.
she was widowed and was trying to make ends meet, so she started a huge pot selling thing and got caught up in it. It was a good show.
It was like Breaking Bad for like stay-at-home moms.
Kind of, yeah. I never got into Breaking Bad. I always thought it was a stupid show.
No, it's really good. You gotta watch it. It's really good.
I tried. I couldn't. Same with Dexter. I couldn't get into Dexter either.
I never really got into Dexter either. Lauren got into Dexter. She watched it all. I didn't.
I finished watching Schitt's Creek. And I think I'm gonna watch 6 Feet Under again. That was a fucking weird show.
I've never watched that before. About the mortuary. Yeah, I've seen that a few times. I've never seen all of it. Like,
I've been.
Good show. You know, it's a really good show. Did you ever watch Eastbound and Down?
Yeah, that was a funny show.
Kenny fucking Powers. Kenny fucking Powers.
Yeah, Danny McBride's hilarious. He doesn't get enough credit.
Well, you know what happened was he played that solo role and he did really good. And then after that, he's been like a co-star. He hasn't been like a star. Like he's always been like a secondary guy.
There's been a few where he's starred. I really liked him in This Is the End, where he kind of played himself.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I think I saw it when I was high. I think I only saw it when I was high a couple times.
Dude,
and I think like
Michael Cera just steals that movie, man. He's only in it for like 20 minutes, but he steals that movie.
Yeah, because they all play themselves at like the end of the book. It's pretty weird concept. Hermione stole over beer. I do remember that. Fuck.
Oh man, yeah, James Franco.
James Franco's awesome. That guy, he's awesome. I like James Franco. I wish his skin was a little more firm. I wish he wasn't so wrinkly. He's better looking if he wasn't so wrinkly.
So, have you ever researched your family tree?
No. I've never. Honestly, I know that there's a shit ton of people I'm related to on my dad's side. Yeah. My dad never really liked his side of the family, so I've like really never met him.
So, I've never really cared about my family tree. You know, I just figured we had all kinds of fucking weirdos spread out all over Europe in our family tree. Why do I even give a shit? Probably nobody I've ever even heard of. But before my oldest brother died, he got really like hardcore into just going back as far as he could with the family tree. And my grandmother on my dad's side, she passed away when my dad was like 15. So, you know, we're talking like 17 years before I was born. My brother discovered that she was actually adopted by her stepdad. And we never knew that, never knew who her real dad was or anything. So my brother found that out and found out that he's descended from a real prominent family in Bavaria. The last name is Bowersox. And the Bowersox family actually has the world's largest family reunion every year.
No shit.
Yeah, like 1 year they'll do it in Bavaria, then the following year they do it in, I think it's like Indiana or some shit like that. So he discovered, you know, all that shit. So, and after my brother passed away, my dad started researching back even further, and he researched that family lineage back to like the 1000s.
Wow.
Yeah. And just opened up a huge can of worms in the family tree. We've got like all kinds of royalty in the family. Like back in those days, royalty from one country would marry royalty from another country just to keep the royal family sacred, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of royalty from like England, Rome. There's like, I think there was like 3 or 4 Holy Roman emperors. There was one guy who was simultaneously the king of 3 different countries and Holy Roman emperor, all simultaneously at the same time. There was a queen of Ethiopia, which makes me part black. There was a saint in there. It's fucking crazy what you find. Like, I was never interested in this shit, and then my dad starts telling me about all this royalty that we're related to. I'm like, yes, send me a list of these names. I'm going to look up some of these people. Thinking these are probably unknown royalty, but I looked up a lot of them. It just learning cool stuff about my ancestors. Something that I just never gave a shit about in the past,
Yeah. Honestly, no one really remembers more than like 2 or 3 people back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I never even knew my great-grandparents. They were all dead before I was born. I think one of my great-grandmothers on my mom's side died like a year before I was born. The rest of them were gone for years. But
yeah, you might, depending on your grandparents' age, you might hear stories about their parents.
Yeah,
but you normally don't remember 2 or 3 people back. Once another generation goes, it gets unless you're an important historical figure, it just gets lost.
Yeah,
unless you make a huge impact. I mean, thanks to Google, all of us are going to live forever.
Well, yeah. But
like, you can't Google like 3 generations back, really, unless there was some significance.
Yeah, but like I said, like I didn't think I was going to be able to find some of these people, but I did, and some of them did some great things, and like there was one, I guess he was just this horrible king, and he was assassinated by his own people.
That sounds right.
But then there was, that Ethiopian queen who was, highly respected all throughout Europe. In fact, they called her, her nickname was the modern mother of Europe. Or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but something like that. Yeah. But all this means, too, like, I am, like, distantly related to the current British royal family, who I have talked a lot of shit about over the years.
Well, I heard they're looking for a new prince. They lost one.
Well, I should go up and claim my seat. Like, I somehow deserve something. I'm a duke.
Dude, I'm sure they get millions of people thinking that they're related to them and all that.
Well,
there's probably a certain...
There's a lot of people that probably are related to them.
Yeah, because they knocked up a lot of whores.
Yeah, and we just didn't fall into the correct lineage. At some point, we went back to being peasants, and they didn't. It's the luck of the draw, right?
It's all a bunch of bullshit. Your bloodline doesn't make
I just want that royal family money. That's what I want.
You don't have money. Yeah. You're getting it. You'll get like some of that loose change. We're going to set a change with the Queen's name on it.
Yeah.
Here's this sampling of our money. Thank you ever so kindly. Get that to you.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up.
Unlike Brandon's ancestors that spread their seed everywhere.
If you don't know where to find us, you could listen on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, although your boy Joel keeps saying he can't listen on Google for some reason. I think that's a problem on his end. Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, TuneIn, Listen Notes, Pod Paradise, and YouTube. You can email the show at planetchaosradio@gmail.com. We are on Instagram and YouTube as @PlanetChaosRadio. Twitter is @PlanetChaos_. You could find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, Brandon_Chaos. And Tumblr is Brandon-Chaos. That's all the plugs I got. Yeah, that's all the plugs I got. You got anything to plug, Ed?
No, not really. Go to the Pittsburgh Zoo. I guess that's where I'm going Wednesday. If you guys want to, you play Where's Waldo, find me Wednesday at Pittsburgh Zoo. Other than that, that's.
He'll be the one grabbing the employees by the pussy.
What did you say?
What? I said you'll be the one grabbing the employees by their pussies.
Yep, I'm giving the old clam shake. I'm not famous enough. If our listeners hit like in the 500s or in the thousands, then I'll think I'm famous enough to do it. So if you guys put us into like the thousands mark, then I'll start grabbing people by the pussy because I'll think I'm famous. Until we hit the thousands, I don't think I'm famous at all.
WTF?
I'm more infamous than famous.
All right. Well, it was a fun show, Ed, but
yes,
this is the end of the
I'm
road.
glad we didn't focus on all the hardships. We kind of lined up.
That's why I jotted down some topics this week. You know?
Yeah, we need to get that today. We got to start shying away from this stuff.
There's too much heavy shit going on right now, and I want to stay away from. I'm going to interview some people. I've been patiently waiting for the next horrible thing to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. We'll still time until that happens. I'm booking some interviews real soon, so hoping life goes back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah, we need to figure out our studio schedule now too.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we will see you guys again next week. Goodbye.
Mr. Weed Man, don't do me wrong. Come on, Mr. Weed Man, help me sing my song. Mr. Weed Man, won't you fill my bong? Mr. Weed Man, I need some relaxation. Mr. Weed Man, don't do me wrong. Like Bob Marley, I'ma smoke it till my brain is gone. Mr. Weed Man, don't you roll with rock? Mr. Weed Man, I need that medication, but I don't really know what you got to roll. Hoping that you pull out some fire acetone. Got my own lighter, you know I can match a bowl. Hoping that you're waiting with the joint after the show. Everybody solo! Know what you got to roll. Hoping that you pull out some fire acetone. Got my own lighter, you know I can match a bowl. Hoping that there are no bubbles breaking our windows, but I don't really know what you got to roll. Hoping that you pull out some fire acetone. Got my own lighter, you know I can match a bowl. Hoping that you're waiting with a joint after the show.